I'm Amy Cherry. This local news is a service of Flagler County's Toyota dealer, Beaver Toyota, here to wow ya. Flagler County has at least 6 confirmed cases of COVID-19. Gretchen Smith with the Florida Department of Health is asking folks not to rely on social media for their information.
And there's still a lot of disbelief out there, thinking that we're actually holding back and we're not reporting all the numbers accurately.
Smith assures the public the county's numbers are accurate.
There's really no reason whatsoever we would be doing this. It's not a contest to see who has the lowest number of cases in a county. And it's frustrating that people don't believe that, yes, there's only 6 that have been reported.
Meantime, local health officials are offering measures that they say will best protect the public during the COVID-19 crisis. John R. King has the details.
Flagler Health Officer Bob Snyder says because there is no vaccine for COVID-19, there are some very basic things we can all do to protect ourselves, our loved ones, and the community.
If you have the symptoms, fever of 100.4 or more, the cough, the shortness of breath, please call your primary care physician, urgent care center, or health department immediately. Next, stay home. Practice social distancing to the extreme. Please practice good hygiene. Yep, that's 20 seconds with the rub and scrub. And when coughing or sneezing, do your very best impression of Dracula. Cough into your arm. If you are sick, stay home from work. If you can work from home, do it.
Snyder says also to avoid all touching of eyes, nose, and mouth, and thoroughly disinfect all spaces at home and in the workplace that are touched often on a daily basis. He insists that this is something we can get through together.
We have to be unified and use the hammer to suppress the spread now. The medical community, Advent Health Palmcoast, physicians, long-term care staff, law enforcement, EMS, fire rescue, our team at the Public Health Department, all of us are so dedicated to our calling, doing the right thing, risking our lives at times, and providing comfort to all of you. We have your back, all of us. So it does take a village, and we're going to get through this, everyone.
From the WNZF Newsroom, I'm John R. King.
Flagler County is using assets like its Fireflight helicopter to monitor beach and resort areas to ensure residents and visitors are in compliance with the social distancing standards set by the CDC. The CDC guidelines stipulate that all gatherings should be limited to 10 people or fewer, and 6 feet of distance should be maintained. An emergency order was signed Sunday to close the beach and parks facilities. The order applies to both public and private beaches. From the WNZF Newsroom, I'm Rich Carroll.
Stop hoarding. That's the message from Flagler County emergency management officials. Julie Murphy is the county's public information officer.
If you do go out to grocery shop, please limit your purchases to what you really need for the week. There are people who are unable to buy more than 1 week's worth of goods. We want to let people know that there's no break in the supply chain delivery. So things are arriving in the stores. Sometimes the store needs time to restock them. There are people who have needs who just can't, frankly, afford to buy 2 weeks of stuff at one time.
Plus, she says the more trips people take to the grocery store, the more at risk they become to coronavirus. The goal is to stay inside as much as possible.
At a time when many people are considering visiting Florida's attractions for their summer vacations, those attractions are closed.
They've fallen victim to the COVID-19 or coronavirus. 24th District State Representative Paul Renner, who represents us in Tallahassee, says Florida won't see the sales tax that it's used to seeing.
One of our main pillars of our economy is tourism. We've now completely shut down the cruise line industry. We've shut down Disney. We've shut down Universal. We've shut down the theme parks in Orlando. And with all the other restrictions on nightclubs and bars, there's no doubt that the sales tax collections are going to drop.
Representative Renner said that it could leave the state with a shortfall. But Florida has $2 billion set aside in the current budget and another $4 billion set aside in the budget that starts on July 1st. To listen to the interview, download the Flagler radio app and then go to the Free for All Friday podcast. From the WNZF Newsroom, I'm Deb Albertson.
Freedom for this Flagler County fugitive didn't last long. With more, here's Tony Magoo.
This is a follow-up to a story we did yesterday about 31-year-old Ronald Gibson, who was arrested for 3 Flagler County felony warrants. All warrants stated no bond allowed. Well, at Gibson's first appearance on March 25th, Volusia County Judge Campbell released Gibson on his own recognizance, even though 2 of the warrants were for Gibson failing to appear. Sheriff Rick Staley has an update for us on Gibson. Sheriff, what happened Wednesday night?
The suspect that was released by the Volusia County judge was arrested within hours for domestic violence when he attacked his girlfriend.
The victim told deputies that he hit her in the face multiple times with a closed fist while she was asleep in her bed. Deputies arrested Gibson, who was charged with domestic battery.
He is now sitting in jail again, and fortunately, the Flagler County judge revoked the ROR status.
He's now sitting in the Sheriff Perry Hall inmate detention facility after Flagler County Judge Chris France ordered Gibson held without bond on the 3 Flagler County warrants and ordered a $10,000 bond on the domestic battery charge. For Flagler's Morning News, I'm Tony Magoo.
And now you're up to date on Flagler's Morning News. I'm Amy Cherry.